Hello all, Brian here with Spontaneous Creations by Brian. What I'm doing tonight is a starters tutorial. This tutorial shows you what you need to get started. You've seen that video online and you decide, hey, I could do that. How much is that going to cost me? What do I buy first? What you got in front of you, this is about $25 worth of material, approximately. Yeah, 5 Craft Smart craft paints. This is a basic paint. You can buy it at Michael's. They're 70 cents for a bottle like this. Got 5 of those. Now, I didn't have any Craft Smart paint or Craft Smart black and white, so I'm using Anita's. It's the same type of paint, same thickness, and it's a craft paint. You just buy this one at Hobby Lobby. It's $2.99 for an 8-ounce tube. But you can go ahead and buy the Craft Smart White. Same thing, it's 70 cents for the 2-ounce bottle. This is a Sargent's. It was ordered online. I couldn't tell you the price of this really, but it's ivory black, same kind of paint. It's just a different brand. It's like Pepsi to Coke. It's the same thing. Go ahead and buy your Craft Smart, 70 cents a bottle. But what you want to do is you want to buy 2 of these 2-ounce bottles of white and 2 of these 2-ounce bottles of black. So you end up with 9 2-ounce bottles. What's that? $8.10. Then what you got? What I got? This is floetrol. This here. This is floetrol flood laxative or latex based paint additive. Anyway, this is a gallon jug. That's how I buy it. But from Home Depot, Menards, Lowe's, they sell also quarts. This is 1 quart. 32 ounces of flood floetrol will cost you $7.50. I got here coconut milk hair serum, OGX. You buy this at Walmart, Walgreens, places like that. I think one of these is about in between $3.50 and $5. Get you some sticks. A little bag of sticks at Michael's is going to cost you $3.50. I didn't check the price on that. Need some cups. It doesn't matter what size cups. You do want a couple different size cups. I got these bigger ones. These are actually 18-ounce cups. These are 9-ounce cups. These are 5.5-ounce cups. Get you a few of those. They're fairly inexpensive. You're going to buy a small package of these for less than $5 a piece. So you're looking at $5, $10, $15 for cups. That's on the expensive side. A couple bucks for anyway. A couple bucks for sticks. A few dollars for paint. Canvases. What I got here is 2 8x10 canvases. I guess you can't see what I'm pointing at. 2 8x10 canvases. Michael's sells a package of 2 8x10 canvases for $4.99. Hobby Lobby, same thing. They got packages of 2 for right around $5. They also have packages of 10. And 10 8x10 canvases is going to cost you $10. If you want to buy the 10, you're upping yourself to about $30, $35 if you do that. With the flood that you buy in a quart, it's 32 ounces for $7.50. Now a gallon though, which is 4 times as much. There's 4 quarts in this. $13.50. Between $13.50 and $14. Home Depot, Lowe's, Menards, I believe a Fleet Farm has it for that price. So if you want to go the gallon, you're upping yourself again. Now you're up to about $40 for this same amount of stuff. But you can keep it as low as $20, $25. You don't have to have the sticks. If you got something else you can stir with, use that. Normally once I got a little better at this and I moved up to thicker paints, some of the more expensive paints are a bit thicker, then they have what they call heavy body paints, which are more expensive, but they're a lot thicker. What I did, I changed to my medium. I went from just floetrol and a little bit of water to floetrol and a lot of bit of water. And my medium now is floetrol 2 parts to 1 part water. Now, part can be any size. This is 1 part, 2 part, water is the 3rd part. Parts can be any size. That can be 1 part, 2 part, 3 parts. Anyway, you mix that up separate in a separate container, and they use that for your mixing medium. And I'm going to show you how I mix paints, get the right consistency. Then I'm going to show you as many paintings as I can do with this amount of paint. Now remember, I'm going to use 4 ounces of white, 4 ounces of black paint, but I'm going to mix those 1 to 1, 1 part paint to 1 part floetrol. And I'm just going to use a little bit of water. I'm not going to mix my floetrol and water on this one because these are craft paints. They're thinner. You want the thicker floetrol, thicker medium of your choice, so that you can get the proper consistency and not dilute the paint or not dilute the floetrol so much. And I think that's the wrong terminology as far as dilute. But for this project I'm just doing a little bit of paint to a little bit of water. So I'm going to put some water in a squeeze bottle. You can put it in a cup, anything you want. Just get you some water. I use a squeeze bottle so I can determine how much water I'm putting in, because I'm not going to measure the water out. Anyway, a little bit of water. My floetrol I'm just going to pour into different containers so it's easier to play with. Got an old milk jug. Lots of people would call this old milk jug garbage. Lots of people would call it gold. Excuse me. Oh, I did not mention the floetrol. When you buy floetrol, you want to filter it because it gets boogers in it. What I did is I just take a piece of pantyhose and a rubber band, put it on there, put your cap on like so, shake that a little bit, and then pour that off into another container. It'll filter out all the boogers that are in it. I'm not sure why it gets the boogers. It just does. And it'll help you out with your finished product if you get those out of there. Let's see. Okay. So, again, $7.50 worth of floetrol, 32 ounces. We're going to start mixing some paints now. And I also got these little 1 ounce cups. You don't really need them. I use them to prop up the canvas when I'm doing paintings, and if you want to get real accurate, super accurate with how much paint and floetrol and such you're mixing, you can use one of those. So in these are 9 ounce container, 9 ounce cups. I'm going to put some gloves on. Gloves are not a necessity. You can buy them though if you want. Another $3.50, $5. Like I said, this is not a cheap hobby. You're going to end up going through some money to keep going. And this initial painting that you're going to do you could really get hooked. So we're going to take the red craft paint. Now we know there's 2 ounces in here because that's what size this is. And we're going to put this red, I'm going to go with the full 2 ounces. We're going to see it's fairly thin. Craft paint is thin. And you want to get as much out of the bottle as you can. Because you want to use the full 2 ounces. Okay, so I want to squeeze it out as much as I can, but there's still paint in there. You can see there's still paint in there. Well, I think you can see it. I can see it. So, take your floetrol. Pour your little bit of floetrol right in that container. Don't fill it up, just pour a bit in. Put your cap back on and shake that bad boy up. Shake it up real good. Now you're going to measure your floetrol into the thing. Go ahead and fill your container all the way up again. About as much as there was paint in there. A little more. So I went a little over. It'll be alright though. Try shaking that up some. And take that right into your paint. Then put that right in your paint. And if you've done it right, you've measured 2 ounces of paint into 2 ounces of floetrol, or 2 ounces of floetrol into 2 ounces of paint. Pretty accurate. Now I added a little bit more because I got this a little bit fuller than it was, but it'll be alright. And simply stir. Stir that up. Mix it in together. So with the thicker paints, you're going to want to use more floetrol, less paint. Usually with my heavy body paints, I'll do 3 to 1, 3 parts floetrol to, or 3 parts of my medium mix to 1 part of paint, and get the proper consistency. So this is 1 to 1, 2 ounces to 2 ounces, and I hope you can see that. That consistency's almost right. It's a little thick. Another test is to set your stick in the middle and see how long it takes to fall. So this is actually falling a little bit fast. Mix it up really good. Scrape the side of your stick and then go back in and let it pour off your stick. Now they say it's supposed to make a mound on a mound on a mound and disappear, which that's what this is doing, but with practice you'll get to know the exact proper consistency. What do they say? Warm honey, chocolate syrup. I think this is a little bit thick yet, so I'm going to take some of my water, just a little bit, and I'm going to put a little bit of water in there. Now I didn't measure that, but it wasn't much. Mix that in real well. It'll thin it out, and it does not take a lot of water to thin this paint, this mixture. But you just took the 2 ounces of paint and the 2 ounces of medium. See how it runs and it disappears. I really hope you can see that. I'm gonna mix all of these up. I'm not gonna make you sit here and watch me do it. I'm gonna turn the camera off and I'm gonna mix all these paints up and then come back and show you what I got. But what I do have with the red, I now have 4 ounces of red ready to pour and make a painting. Of course, you don't want to just make a red paint. So again, I'm going to do the yellow, red, yellow, blue. I got some green, got some purple, got me some white, got me some black. I'm going to mix all these up and then I'll be back. You guys have fun. Okay, we got some paints mixed up. Got some red mixed up. The first one, show you up close, see if we can get a consistency reading on this one. That's about what you want. Do that with the stick, wipe that stick off, and then go through it and pour off. Just pour it off. It's about the right consistency. That's the consistency you're looking for. And then we got some purple. I don't know which one of these colors is going to show you the consistency better, but I have looked at them and they're all approximately the same. Hoping one of them you get a really good idea for how consistent it's supposed to be. Show you some green. Wipe your stick and watch it flow. Some people say like that it's supposed to make a mound on a mound and disappear. One mound pushing the mound before it right down into the paint and totally disappearing. The description of the consistency of a liquid is difficult, but this is what it's supposed to look like. Take your stick, run it off there. You can write a letter with it and see what the letter was. They're pretty good. Anyway, that's the blue. Show you some yellow. Yellow might look better on camera. I don't know which one does. And then we got the black. And I do have twice as much black and twice as much white as I do the other colors. Because use white and black in almost every painting. I do. Most people do. That does not. There we go. I don't know if that's showing up on camera or not. It's not even showing up to my eyes real well, but it is the right consistency. Let's stir it up a little bit more. Try it. As they sit, they can thicken, so kind of want to stir them periodically. There we go. There, it's flowing. And one more, the white. Now this is an antique white, so it doesn't matter which colors you pick. When you go to the store and buy your initial colors, pick the colors you like. These are just the ones I picked. And it doesn't matter what store you buy them at, really. The craft paints are all basically the same. The cheap craft paints at Michael's are 70 cents a bottle. The cheap craft paints at Walmart are 50 cents for a 2-ounce bottle. One warning though, do not buy the Apple Barrel White. Apple Barrel White has a bad reputation. It cracks. If you've ever watched any of the comments on the Facebook groups, you will hear it over and over again. Apple, why is my painting cracked? You used Apple Barrel White. Now that's not the only reason a painting cracks, but that is your number one. If you used Apple Barrel White, that's your cause. There's other causes. I don't know what they are, because that's the only way I've ever had one crack was by using Apple Barrel White. So they say, take your paintings or your paint, mix them up, and some people say let them sit for about a half hour because they do have air bubbles in them. You want those air bubbles to pop. Some people say you can put a little bit of isopropyl, 91% alcohol in them, and they'll pop those bubbles. Some people say hit it with a torch real quick. It'll get rid of the bubbles. Some people say just let them sit for a half hour. That's what I'm going to do this time because I haven't taken a break yet. I was doing this Well, anyway, I'm going to take a break, let these sit for about a half hour, let the bubbles pop, and then I'll be back. Okay, I'm back. Hasn't been a half hour, it's been about 10 minutes, 10-15 minutes anyway. Some bubbles are gone. We'll take care of the bubbles again later. More bubbles. Quick stir of each one. The white does seem to be a bit thick, but it's okay. It'll be alright. So what I'm going to do next is I'm going to put the coconut milk hair serum in it. Now they say, and you know they are always right, that mysterious they say 1 drop of silicone to every 2 ounces of paint. So we got 4 ounces in each cup. I'm not going to put any in the white or black. Some people do, some people don't. There's a consensus for both adding it and not adding it, but I'm not going to. What I got is this coconut milk hair serum. I poured it off into a different container just so I can have better control of the drops. And we're going to put 2 drops. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. So I got 3 in this one, 3 in this one, and 3 in this one. But you take your paints once you added the silicone, and you just a couple stirs. Just stir it in real lightly, just a few times. Maybe fold it over a couple times. They say the more you stir this silicone in there, the smaller the cells you're going to get. And it's true. And on most paintings that I do, I use more silicone than this. But this is what the consensus most people say as far as ratio silicone to paint, silicone to color, because these are colors now. The mixed medium mixed with paint makes your colors that you're going to put on your canvas. So what am I doing now? I am going to set these all to the side, and we're going to frame up the canvas.